Hey guys, happy Saturday night. It's only my second live video on Instagram, but we've had some pretty big news in our life recently. And I just wanted to share with you guys because I know a lot of you have been following me about fertility stuff and infertility and endometriosis. And there's been some kind of big news. Nothing's really happened yet, but some things might be happening. So I'll explain what I mean. I'm not going to go through the entire backstory, although if you go to my Living Vibrantly channel on YouTube, it's all there. There's a playlist I think is called Our Fertility Journey, so you can find the whole, all the way back. But in a nutshell, my husband and I have been trying for, pretty much ever since we've known each other. Sorry, was that TMI? Anyways, but it's been almost 7 years now, 6 to 7 years. And obviously, it's not just like trying, nothing's happening. So there's been a lot that's happened. But the main thing has been that my kidneys don't work as well as the average normal person. And that was because of a surgery that I had in 2014. Had some pretty severe complications and ended up really sick. But basically during the surgery, my kidneys lost blood supply temporarily. Hey, Sarah. Oh, thank you. That's a sweet comment. Thank you. Hugs back at you. Yeah, so that's what we've been dealing with. And again, I don't want to go into like all the details, but the reason that, we were going through IVF basically as I was healing from all of that and starting to do better. I came back from it and we were just hopeful the entire time that like gradually my kidneys would recover their function. And then it kind of hit a plateau. Maybe like, when was that? Oh boy. So gosh, it'll be 4 years since my surgery in August. And I think it was about 2 years ago that my kidneys stopped improving. So then at that point, it was pretty devastating. And we had met with different specialists and everything, but basically that was when we had to start looking at surrogacy. And the reason is basically that, so when you're pregnant, your blood supply doubles, I'm told. And it can be a strain on the kidneys. Now, if you're a normal person with 100% kidney function, 2 healthy kidneys, your body just kind of picks up the slack because we really only need, I guess, about 50% of our kidney function. However, when, say you only had 1 kidney, pregnancy would be more of a strain. And the problem comes in, it's actually not that much of a risk for the baby as long as you have like at least 50% function. And guys, if I'm messing up those numbers, don't kill me. I'm not a doctor, but I'm just kind of explaining what I've understood from what our doctors have told us. Okay, so basically if you have 50% kidney function or above, your body kind of rallies to get through the pregnancy for a healthy baby. But then what can happen afterwards is you almost burn out your kidneys by processing or forcing them to process all of that extra blood supply. And so then after the baby is born, actually your kidney function can kind of decline. And that's what they see in the studies. So that's why our doctors basically told me not to get pregnant 2 years ago. And again, like it was just really, really hard to accept because it's all about risk categories, right? And so like with any medical study, you're going to have some people who are in the high risk category who do fine. And then you're going to have some people in the low risk category who end up, in kidney failure. So it kind of felt like you had to make this momentous decision without knowing what is the outcome going to be for me. And playing it on the safe side, of course, like you always want to protect your own health, but at the same time, if then that's a choice that's going to mean we aren't going to become parents, that was just very, very just difficult to like weigh our options and figure out what to do. Okay, so fast forward now to this past spring. And you guys probably remember, if you've been following me, like back on, it was actually like March 30th. So we got a dog. We got 2 dogs actually. And we only had them for a couple days. The foster mom ended up taking them back and rehoming them because what happened was I got bitten by one of the dogs. The dog bit me on the hand the first night when we were trying to just take her out at bedtime. She nipped me in the knuckle. It wasn't a bad bite at all, but it ended up getting infected and I had to have hand surgery. So you might remember me just showing the physical therapy and like rehab with my finger and everything. It was a pretty big deal, but you know, compared to my other surgery, it was really minor. The recovery was very minor. So that was a pretty sad thing. We were really looking forward to having the 2 little pups, and it just wasn't meant to be right now for us. There was just no way that I could take care of a dog and like, you know, train them and give them a bath and things like that with my hand in that condition. So, you know, we'll try again at some point. But our plan to get a dog was also foiled. But really strangely, I don't know if you guys do believe in angels. I wasn't going to tell this part, but it's kind of the coolest part of it. Or that there's some, I don't know. I mean, obviously, so one of the doctors, I feel like she was kind of, you know, obviously she was human, but I felt like she was kind of an angel to me also. So she, this was the infectious disease doctor who helped me when I was in the hospital. She was basically monitoring to make sure that the antibiotics were working. So like every 6 hours, they were administering antibiotics, and then, I don't know, every day, every other day, something, they were doing a blood culture just to see like what bacteria were still in my blood. And, you know, so I saw her, I think I was in the hospital 4 days, and I saw her every day. But she shared her story of just they had a long struggle to have a family as well. So she was kind of a fellow, you know, sister in infertility, although she has a baby now. But, you know, she shared that with me, and then it turned out that she went and read my whole file in the background, and we were kind of talking about that, and she was just very kind and everything. So then on like the day before I went home, she came back and she's like, I need to show you something. And she showed me the test results for my kidney function, which they're monitoring along with all kinds of other things. But nobody had really been keeping an eye on that, or hadn't been like telling me about it anyways. Because, you know, that's not mainly what they're looking at. It's just, you know, one of the many vital signs. But she knew how important that was. So she's like, I need to show you that your kidney function is in the normal range. Now, since I just was retested like, I don't know, a week or 2 ago, and it's not within the normal range anymore, but it's a lot closer than it was. So I think it was January that I had last been tested. So it has been like, if anyone knows creatinine numbers, so like the risk categories, it had to be below 1.5. And it was like just above 1.5 for a long time, and that was where it was stuck, and it was placing me in the higher risk category. So last year we had, basically it was like, okay, you know, we just have to assume my kidneys are not going to recover. And like, I'm almost 40. My husband's over 40. We want to get our family started. Thanks for the hearts. Thanks to everyone who's joining. So we were moving ahead with the surrogacy process, and we had actually 3 different people that we were talking with, not all at once, like one after the other, and they all fell through for some reason. And I mean, maybe that was for the best, but who knows? We might still have to go down that road. I'm not closing that door, but let's just say it's vastly less expensive if you can use your own uterus. So that's what we're looking at now. And just anyone who's had infertility knows it's not just as simple as like, green light, go ahead. Like now I have to go to like the kidney doctor, and then you know, like my general practitioner, and then the neonatal perinatal specialist, So we're starting the next round of doctor appointments, is my point, just to kind of find out what this all means. But like the big news is that I'm in the lower risk category. So again, it's not necessarily an easy decision even now that like I said before, there were still some people in the lower risk category that didn't have good outcomes and ended up on dialysis, but we're a lot more optimistic than we were. Thank you so much. Thanks for the prayers. That's so kind of you. Thank you, everybody. This is fun. This is the live video I did before. There was like nobody watching, so I appreciate the love. Yeah, so that's the big news. Again, like it's really early to find out or to know what it all means, but that's kind of the path we're going down. And there would be a couple procedures, you know. Oh, so I think I forgot to mention that we have embryos frozen. Like we were assuming that we were going to do IVF, and we got as far as freezing the embryos with the hopes that I would carry them later. And then we kind of had to like start, you know, giving up on that and getting used to the idea that it might never happen. And now it looks like it could happen. So it's just, we're very optimistic and feeling hopeful and excited. And the good thing about it is, like, I remember when we were first starting to look at IVF, it's like, oh, you're going to bill me how much? Like upfront, just put it on the credit card. And it seems so astronomical. And then you start looking at surrogacy and it's like 10 times as much. So it's like now the cost of, you know, the embryo transfer and everything, that's nothing. Easy peasy. So it's just all a matter of perspective, right, guys? Oh, thank you. Team rooting for you. All the encouragement you give to others. Thanks. I try. That's kind of, I mean, so I love this community. I love all of you that I've met here. It really surprised me, the support I found on Instagram. You know, when we started, we've been dealing with infertility like pretty much since, you know, we've been together. But when I started like trying to connect to people on social media, and just the support that's here is so incredible and makes it so much easier, because for whatever reason, it's like not a thing that people talk about that much, like friend to friend. So I just appreciate having you guys here that I can talk to about it. Yeah, so that's it. I think I've kind of hopefully given a good overview. Did you guys have any questions before I wrap up? Yeah, it is exciting. Thanks, Amber. I almost like, I've been wanting to do this video for a couple weeks, but I have been putting it off a little also, because it's just like waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? And you're like so used to everything going wrong, and finally something went right. Yeah, so I'll keep you guys posted. Really, it's just like several doctor appointments before we really find out the timing on anything. But we're not in a rush. Like, there's basically, from what I understand, like once you have your embryos frozen, there's kind of no age limit. Like, well, obviously, you know, I don't want to be like 81 and a first-time mother, but like 39 versus 40 versus 41 doesn't make a big difference. So it's nice to have that pressure taken off and not feel like, you know, my eggs are getting older, like every day the clock is ticking. Question, will you keep us updated? Absolutely. I don't always share everything like right when it happens, because, you know, you just need a little time to process things. But yeah, I think like this whole thing is so fascinating, just everyone's stories, and like each story is so different. Like, I don't know if there's anyone else in the world who had kind of this combination of factors that we had, but then you look at someone else dealing with infertility and they have like their own specific set of factors that is just, you know, just a little different. Like, probably no two cases are the same. I think that Sean's feeling good too. You know, we're both just really excited. It's kind of like, whoa, like you just get used to feeling like it's never going to happen in a way. So it's a little bit crazy that things actually might move forward now. Yeah. So like I said, I probably won't have any more news to share like really soon, but as soon as I can, I'll let you guys know. All right, happy Saturday night. Thanks for getting on, guys. See you later.